Hello my dear students, welcome back to the class. Today we are going to discuss about 10 standard signs, acid, bases and salt. This is chapter 2 and in the previous class we have discussed how strong are acids and bases. In this class we are going to discuss about importance of pH in everyday life. Before starting actual lesson, I would like to tell you something that there are no secrets to success. There are no secrets to success. It is the result of preparation, hard work and learning from the failure. So there are no secrets to success. It is the result of your preparation, your hard work and what you are learning from the failure. So based on these three only your success will be, children. So learn those all the things. Okay. By saying this, I will start today's class, that is importance of pH in everyday life. Okay. So the first one is plants and animals are pH sensitive. So plants and animals are pH sensitive. They'll react based on the pH. So they are very sensitive. They'll react as soon as. Okay. So living organisms can survive. Living organisms can survive only in normal range of pH change. So all the living organisms, either it is plants or animals, they can able to survive only limited range of pH change. Okay. Our body works normally within a pH range of 7.0 to 7.8. So human body works, the pH range is 7.0 to 7.8. Okay, and when a pH of rainwater goes below 5.6, so if the rainwater pH change, if it is goes below to 5.6, so in the pH scale you already learned that in the pH scale exact 7 is neutral and below 7 is acidic character, above 7 is basic character, you have learned. Is it or not, children? So here you can see that rainwater, if it is goes down below 5.6, okay, it is called acid rain. So that is called acid rain because that water level is going, pH range is going down below 5.6. So then it is called acid rain. Okay. When acid rain flows into rivers, if the acid rain flows into the rivers, so what happens? It lowers the pH of the river water. So once if the water level, rainwater level goes down below 5.6, then it is called acid rain. If the acid rain flows into the rivers, then it makes the river water to go down, lower the pH range. Okay, and makes survival of aquatic life difficult. So if it is changes the river water acidic, so what happened, the further life of aquatic living things, plants or animals, they'll get problems. So their life will become very difficult. Okay, and the first one is plants and animals are pH sensitive. So all the living beings will survive only limited range of pH. Okay, in human body we have human bodies works 7.0 to 7.8, and if rainwater below 5.6, then it is acid rain. If the acid rain flows into the rivers, it will lower the pH range of river water. If the river water pH range is lowers, so what happens, automatically it becomes acidic and further aquatic life will become very difficult. Okay, and next one is pH of the soil. Next one is pH of the soil. Okay, every type of plant requires a specific pH range. So every type of plants require pH range for healthy growth. For their healthy growth, it requires limited amount, specific amount will be there. So they require that specific amount of pH range for their healthy growth. Okay, and therefore the nature of soil is known first by testing its pH, and then a particular crop is grown in it. So first we must know the pH range of particular soil by testing. Then we can grow further crops in the particular soil. It is also suitable for selecting the fertilizer for the particular crop by knowing the pH of the soil. And the next one is what? It is very easy to finding what kind of fertilizers we have to use for the particular soil. Okay, so the next topic is pH of the soil. In the pH of the soil, every plant requires specific amount of pH. So they require specific amount. For what? For their growth, healthy growth. Okay, so not only for this healthy growth, if you know the pH range, so what type of fertilizers we have to add also we will come to know easily. Okay, and the next one is pH in our digestive system. So first one is plants and animals are pH sensitive. The next one is pH of soil. And the next one is pH in our digestive system. Okay. It is very interesting to note that our stomach produces hydrochloric acid. So what has it? So it is very, very interesting, children, that our stomach is producing hydrochloric acid. It is a very strong acid. Okay, and it helps in the digestion of food without harming the stomach. So this hydrochloric acid function is what? It is helping the digestion of food without harming stomach. Okay, and during indigestion, if indigestion is taking place, so what happens? The stomach produces too much acid. So that particular time the stomach produces too much of hydrochloric acid. This hydrochloric acid causes pain and irritation. Okay, so fast one word, our stomach produces hydrochloric acid. This is very, very strong acid, and this acid helps in the digestion of food. Okay, whenever the indigestion taking place, this secretion of hydrochloric acid will be very more. So what happens? Automatically we will feel pain and irritation in our stomach. Next, to get rid of this pain, so we want to get rid of this pain, is it or not? We want to relieve from this pain and irritation. So what we must do? People use bases called antacids. So people will use bases called antacids. This antacids, so antacids function is what? This antacids neutralize the excess acid. So it will neutralize the excess acid. So what happens? We'll get relief from that particular pain. Okay. And magnesium hydroxide. Magnesium hydroxide is nothing but milk of magnesia. A mild base is often used for this purpose. So antacid we must use. Here example they have given, that is magnesium hydrochloric acid. It is a milk of magnesia. So usually the people will use to get rid of this acidity. Okay. So this pH in our digestive system. pH in our digestive system, our stomach secretes acid called hydrochloric acid. This acid function is, it helps in the digestion of food. And whenever we'll feel indigestion, whenever the indigestion taking place in our stomach, so what happens? This secretion of acids will be more. So that what happens? Secretion of acid is more means automatically will we feel pain and irritation. So we want to get rid of this pain, right? So what happens? If you want to get rid of this pain, so we have to take some antacids. Okay, or else mild base, that is milk of magnesia. Okay, and the next one is self-defense by animals and plants through chemical warfare. So listen, self-defense by animals and plants through chemical warfare. Here you can see when insects like honeybee. So insects like honeybee, ant, if they bite, if they are biting, what happens? They'll inject an acid. Okay, methanoic acid. They will inject acid into the skin. That causes pain and irritation. So because of that acid, what happens? We'll get pain and irritation. Okay, and if a mild base like baking soda, so if you want to get rid of that pain, so we have to take base, that is mild base called baking soda, is applied on the affected area. It gives relief. Next one is pH in plants. Next topic is pH in plants. Stinging air of nettle leaves inject methanoic acid. So this kind of plants, what happen? They will inject methanoic acid. So they will inject methanoic acid in the skin, which causes burning pain. So what happen if they inject methanoic acid in our skin? We'll feel burning pain sensation. Okay, and if we want to get rid of that pain, right? So what we must do? It is used by rubbing the affected area with the leaves of duck plant, which often grows beside the nettle plant. So what happens in that particular area? We have to rub duck plant. So if you rub means automatically we'll get relief from that pain. Okay. And next one is pH change leads to the tooth decay. So this pH change leads to the tooth decay. You can see tooth enamel is made up of calcium phosphate. Our tooth enamel is made up of calcium phosphate and is the hardest substance in the body. So in our body, which is hardest substance is this enamel. Okay, and if the pH inside the mouth, so inside our mouth, if the pH range decreases below 5.5, so if it is decreases 5.5. Below 5 means it shows that it is acidic, right? So the decay of tooth enamel begins. So inside our mouth, if the pH range decreases below 5.5, so then the decay of enamel begins. Okay, so the bacteria present in the mouth. So bacteria present in the mouth degrades the sugar and leftover food particles and produce acids. So the help of sugar, it degrades the sugar and left over the food particles and produce what? Acids that remains in the mouth after eating. So after eating, what happens? The bacteria present in our mouth, it degrades the sugar and as well as left over the food particles. It makes acids. Okay. The best way to prevent, so we want to prevent this tooth decay, right? So what we must do, what preventive measures we have to take? Listen, the best way to prevent this is to clean the mouth after eating food. So what is the best way? So whenever we are eating, after eating we have to clean. So we have to clean after eating. To prevent tooth decay, toothpaste. So toothpaste is nothing but it is a base. So we are using toothpaste, which is nothing but basic in nature, are used which neutralize the excess acid. So whenever you are brushing after eating, so what happens? It will neutralize the excess acid which is present in your mouth. So this is the best way to prevent tooth decay. Okay. In the next class we will discuss about more about salt.